Hi there guys, and welcome to another Trains from 2017 video. Today we are having a look at the eagerly anticipated Armstrong Powerhouse Wherry Line scenario pack for the Class 68. I've not driven any of it yet or done anything with it. I've just installed it and this livery on this looks stunning. The reskins that were out for it before were nice. I'm not going to moan, they were alright, they did the job. This is sort of taking it to the next level really though, and it's very nicely done. Very nicely done. We've got a set of Anglia Mark 2s on the back. What have we got? 16 on the back, which is fearless. Alright, let's get in the cab, get set up and see what we've got to do. Hello driver, first things first. Load and unload passengers here at Norwich, where you are due to depart at 12:05. You are then calling at Brundall, Cantley, Reedham, Haddiscombe, Somerleyton, Orton Broad, and Lowestoft. Excellent. I picked the Lowestoft scenario because my last journey on the Wherry lines was to Great Yarmouth. And this is a two-part of this. This is part one and then there's part two. I'll probably put these videos up one after the other. I'll probably do them one after another as well, to be fair, so it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. Right, let's get this set up. I drove this not a long ago. You all saw the video, so it should be pretty simple for me. Let's have some lights on for a start. We don't have a master key as such for this. ETS needs to be on. Let that come on. That was me giving the right away there. So I'm just going to get us going. There we go. That horn does make me giggle. So we've got the lovely 37 sitting there. So 37 that came with the Armstrong Powerhouse Wherry lines originally was a modification. The set was Carlisle one, if I remember rightly, and they've done an amazing job with it. This being an AP scenario, it's going to be nice, it's going to be detailed. We'll give it a go. Nice 90 LED lights on the Abellio livery. I'm going to end up speeding if I'm not careful. I do love those Mark 2s. And as you all know anyway, this is one of my favourite routes. I don't often drive to Lowestoft though, funnily enough. I drive back, I do Lowestoft to Norwich relatively often, but I don't tend to do Norwich-lowestoft that often. I think it's just because it's a little bit longer. I'm having to play by myself. This is kind of the route I will go to a lot of the time. If I just want to play something without filming it, it will tend to be the Wherry lines. Don't get me wrong, there are other routes I do drive quite often, but this one does tend to be the one I go for. What I was really interested to see with this scenario pack, and I've seen a little bit of conversation about this already on a few forums and a couple of the Facebook groups, this scenario pack will work with the Steam version. So whether you bought the Armstrong Powerhouse Wherry Lines version or if you bought the Steam Wherry Lines version, this pack will work on both. And that's a nice touch. That's a very nice touch. Right, got the road up 60. Oh, do you know what I didn't do? While we're accelerating there, I didn't go and see what's in Crown Point. This is another 90 set in the AGA livery. Ooh. It's just your end. This end sounds a bit quiet to me. I was having a look at one of the guys on, what was the official rail simulator, train simulators Facebook page, has been messing about with Reshade, which is a graphical enhancement tool that does sort of post-processing. I think it probably is post-processing. It plays with the anti-aliasing and texture and rendering after the game's done it itself, and some of his stuff was stunning. It may be something I have a little look at. I don't know yet. Also, you will notice when we start going over those crossings that were missing in the Deltic pack, they're back in. Mr. Armstrong Powerhouse himself sent me a message and said, just to let you know, have you got the US Loco asset pack installed? And I went, no, it's one of those strange things I remove. That's where they come from. So I've reinstalled that anyway, and all should be fine. It wasn't these crossings, it was like the tiny little foot crossings more than anything. And we have the little bridge to go over, don't we? So it's a 40 limit coming up, a 20 limit coming up. Now, also on the official train simulators page, there was a guy who has done a brake fix for this livery. After speaking to Richard Armstrong earlier, it doesn't need it. This already has it. So as soon as you get the download pack, the scenario pack, the DRS reskin that's included in this pack has the brake fix. So what that does, I'll show you actually when we get a bit closer. Slow down a little bit early there. I made sure I've got this. I think every other scenario I've ever done where I've come this way, I've gone over this bridge at sort of more speed than I should have done. So if you look, what can happen with this brake is that you end up going into sort of full braking, emergency braking, by just clicking it. And I showed you on my last 68 video that there was a fix out there for the ScotRail version. This one already has it in, so I didn't need to install it, even though I did do. I was then told that it doesn't need it. So the brakes are fixed in this Armstrong Powerhouse DRS liveried Class 68, they're fixed. It is nice. I quite like the 68s anyway. And the 88s as well. I've seen there's a couple of groups about 68s and 88s out there that I sort of follow and just keep an eye on. An 88 wouldn't be too hard work for DTG, I don't reckon. They could do it pretty easy. I was actually having to think to myself the other day how many guys are actually left on the Train Simulator Classic team now at DTG. I mean, I'm sure there will be a lot of well, we know there's a lot of we've got this today, a lot of third-party developers are still going to be doing stuff for it, and I'm sure the DTG will be publishing some third-party stuff, but I'm just not sure how much DTG themselves will be working on. Oh. And one thing I really like about this Loco is I tend to find myself using the speedo, whereas some other trains it's a bit harder to sort of read, isn't it? On the 68 it's really clear. I end up using the HUD quite often, which is naughty. It's just bad form, isn't it? The speedo's there, use it. I never had a HUD in BVE when I played that. again, I've braked real early for that. It's pants. The rest of the sounds on it aren't too bad. It's a pretty tight platform here at Brundall. You can hear the concentration by my lack of talking. It's weird because it's not a... It is a loco I really enjoy driving, but it's just one I just don't get that to use that often. And now we've got this new DRS livery though, I can see a fair bit of scenario potential. Mr. Horsfield's still enjoying his break at the minute, but when he is back, I'm sure we will see this being used in plenty of other scenarios. It's just nicely done. I like the way this is actually dead as well. I'm not sure how much longer the 68s are at, or even if the 68s still actually are on this set, out on these lines, because I know there is talk of them coming. I think they might have actually left Norwich by now. YouTube messaging me, sorry. I'm looking at it. I'm too busy in this. It's those crossings, the wooden boards. So YouTube are giving me a new way to share. That's nice. I've also managed to track down a copy of a Class 68. I'm not sure what I'm actually getting, if I'm getting the full whack or not, but I will have some manuals for the 68. Or should I say copies of manuals for a 68. And they have come from a roundabout way. And funny enough, nothing to do with DRS, which I was quite surprised about. These have actually come from... I'm not going to tell you exactly where they've come from, but they've come from abroad. They are coming par avion. just such a nice route, isn't it, to just be chilling out on. Now the pack itself, let me go through that a little bit with you. So it's $4.99, but for your $4.99 you get 14 scenarios, which in my eyes is plenty for a £5. So yeah, there is. Let's stop coming up as well, so I've got to keep an eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30. Yeah, 14 scenarios. Not all of them with the 68 either. I think you've got about 7 with the 68 and about 7 with the 37. Different weather and times and all sorts. There's a 68 one that's stormy that I want to do, but I wanted to try it out first just to see if it was going to be alright to video. Because sometimes the rain and the bits like that can affect how the video comes out, and it's a bit of a pain because it looks fine for me sitting here playing it, but then it actually goes a bit dark your end, and then I have to use the post-processing that YouTube do, which I've never massively been impressed with. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was really silly. I've probably put the brake on ridiculously there. It would help if I could see my gauges. I'm not sure if it's me just mishandling it or if that does the brake handle slightly different to the brake patch, fixed patch that I was using before. I'm not going to blame that. But again, it's just getting used to it because it's not quite PBL or PLB. I can never remember which way it goes. It doesn't quite spring back from apply. So if you press apply, it will just keep applying. And as I said before in my other video, I'm not sure what is sort of prototypical for the 68s. Just look at the detail on that with the door lock and everything. Even the gump and the vent. I'm really looking forward to Train Sim World when we can actually walk about the train as it's moving. That's going to be a pretty big deal. Where's the sander button on this? You guys are all going, I can see it, I know where it is, what are you doing? And I can't. What's that? It's all lighting down here. Oh, cab heating. I have played with this before, actually. No, it's there. There's the sander. DSD holder. I haven't got the DSD on, actually. I probably should. But I was going to be more sort of messing about with the route more than anything today. Having a look at what's going on. Seeing the different stock come past and things like that. I'm going to go into Reedham fast with the brakes loosely applied. Just try and make up some time, because I'm guessing I'm way late. So Reedham I should be in at 12:24. We're already at 12:25 and a half. So yeah, we're a few minutes down, hence the time on the HUD's gone as well. It's not good, because with Armstrong Powerhouse and Norwich, you kind of want to be on time to make sure you get to see everything as you should. So I do apologise. Just like with Chris, he puts things in like you might be departing a red or a station with more stock coming out at the same time, so you do a little bit of train racing or whatever. Now I don't know if I should be stopping at the stopboard here, or if I should be stopping at the end of the platform. I'm guessing it's the end of the platform. Yeah. Oh, you'd have got everybody off. It's just the brake bit that isn't. I can't see if I've ever actually been in the brake compartment of a Mark II. Limit. Oops, sorry about that. 15 limit going over the swing bridge anyway. Is it a swing bridge or is it a lifting bridge here? Swing bridge in it, Reedham. It's just really nice to use the 68. Oh, look at the flashing tail lamp as well. That's a cool touch. Do you know, I didn't even notice that. So I'm guessing if you select the non-driving version, you get a nice little LED tail lamp. That's really cool. Is it not the bridge now, is it? It's just the curve. I'm not with it today. I'm sure it is Reedham. I don't know why I say these things and then spend the next minute doubting myself and then go, oh yeah it is, or oh no it isn't. Yeah, it's a bridge. And it's like people in the comments make me die because they must, like, when I say things like that, they then must go and comment, and then when I correct myself afterwards, it's sort of like, So I must apologise for the Stroud Stroud mix-up on the 395 video. Cool, that's too pretty to actually. That's a photo, really, isn't it? Sorry, guys. I know you don't want to see me taking the screenshots, but yeah, I got that really muddled up. I did correct myself at the end, towards the end of the video. It's one of those things that really bugs me because I don't know if you guys watch QWERTY Afro as well. No, I love some of QWERTY's videos. Not everything he does I like, but most of the stuff he does I really like. I find it really difficult to watch anything where he says airport in. Because he does something my old mate Phil used to do. He says aeroport. It drives me bonkers. I'm sitting watching this video and he's going aeroport. Now I know there was people sitting there watching my video going, stop, it's not Stroud. It's Stroud, not Stroud. So I completely and utterly feel for you. I've super duper amounts of empathy for you. I know how it feels. But now I'm also quite empathetic towards QWERTY Afro because I know how weird it is when you're sitting making the video. You don't notice yourself doing it. And it isn't until you like play it back and you go, oh, what? Did I really do that the whole way through? That's ridiculous. So I can see both sides of it, guys. I love the little flange lubricators that are all over this route as well. When were we meant to be at Hadders Cove? 12:33 now, and we're 3 miles away from it. I bet I've driven this really badly, and I. That's weird because I can hear the jointed track sounds in the Mark IIs, but not in the 68. See? But nothing in the 68. Maybe quite muffled. I'll be honest, I don't think my 68's behaving. Sounds-wise, it is a bit off. Seems a bit quiet. I don't know if driving from different ends makes a difference as well. I'm not sure if it's that in depth. I was really tempted to hit that. You guys might also be quite pleased to hear that I'm about 30% done on the planning for my actual driver's desk controller. That will hopefully, if I can... I've managed to get a few little bits to work on the test rig, but it will include some real train parts. Quite amused by the red flashing light. Now I'm not sure if that's included in the ScotRail one. It might be, or it might be just for the Armstrong Powerhouse one, I'm not sure. I should have said that when I got all excited about it, really, shouldn't I? And you'll have now seen, with this video go up in between my next 205 video and the first one, but you've seen that I've got the Armstrong Powerhouse 205 as well. And Mr. Dreamliner, so Josh has done a scenario on the Wherry lines with the thumper, which on one hand to me is a sort of a no-no, because my weird rigid brain doesn't quite let me use trains that shouldn't be on certain lines if I know otherwise. Try and get this up to a bit of speed and then back down again before simulating. Down to 30. I feel myself getting a Suffolk accent driving out here. That's a red. Naughty, naughty. What's going up there? Is that because I've come in late, or? Oh, we to do the bridge, because the bridge would have been... I don't know if the bridge actually moves, if it's modelled to move, I'm not sure. Hello driver, simulating swing bridge signalman speaking. I'm currently having trouble with the bolts that secure the bridge to the rails, so please sit tight for now and await further information. Fair enough. I can deal with that. Now, how these kind of work when they do come in is there's very clever rails that sort of half split. There's a, is it Bridge Transport Films video? Of was it Thorpe Bridge that was out outside Norwich? Let's have a play around with this while we're waiting. Average running speed of 45. What is PE in? Oh, it's I and H. Ooh. Well, this is just me personally. I'm trying to test myself, not in a weird I'm going to test myself way, but as I've just started looking at this, I've thought, oh well, if I try and learn what I can, see if I'm right when it comes to the manual. I think some of it, I think I've got a CD. I love this word, a CD-ROM coming, and some papery bits. But I'm guessing the CD just contains the files for the... Oh, just reset the timer again. What time was I meant to hit? Oh, okay. Am I going to have messed this up because I was too late? Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't need to go to the effort to put the actual farm crossing sign on the farm crossings. You could just put a generic stop sign there, because nobody's ever going to sit here and read them. But Armstrong Powerhouse go to weird detail like that, and look, it is an animal one. No, we are just waiting on that bridge. There's nothing else going up that way. With it being an Armstrong Power scenario, I don't mind a bit of a wait, because you know that it's going to be a realistic scenario. But I can pass it. Do I pass it or do I not? Pretty sure it told me to await further instruction, didn't it? No step! It's the sort of thing I dreamed of seeing if you... hello driver, Summer Leighton Swing Bridge, signalman speaking. Haven't been able to rectify the issue, so I've had to call out a network rail engineer to have a look. We aren't exactly in the most convenient location, so this could take a while. I have been advised that you should propel back to Haddiscoe Station and sit there until further notice. Please don't exceed 20 miles per hour whilst carrying out this movement. It's going to let me set back at 20. So send the pressure, there we go, that's off. This is cool. For some reason I had it in my head that you couldn't do reversals in Train Sim. But that would be stupid, wouldn't it? Because of course you could have shunting ones and all of that. Yeah, so we can't actually get to the rear loco because it's a non-driving version. But I think in real life what would happen is if they would have probably just switched ends, but if for some reason you couldn't drive from that end, the guard would be there with one hand on the horn and one hand on the emergency brake. Just sounds like being at a preserved railway, doesn't it? It really, really gets me. Look at the detail on it. The Anglia livery was never really one of my go-to liveries, really. I know I'll get shot for saying this, I quite liked one. It's because I had about 4 Hornby, a full rake actually. They got a full 90 and Mark III and Mark III DVT set in the one livery, because of course it wasn't one livery at all. Sorry, it was one livery. It wasn't a Mark III DVT at all. It was a Mark IV DVT painted in one livery like a Mark III. Right, well, I guess this is going to be the end of this one. We'll wait and see if there's a bit of blurb when the line's going to cross. Alright then, driver. Oh, good work, driver. Please load part 2 and fast forward 90 minutes and continue the scenario. Okay then, guys, thanks ever so much for watching. Stay tuned for part 2. See you there.